What if more efficiency actually causes less creativity? That might sound strange, but it's something I've started to notice in my own life. Creativity doesn't usually visit me when I try to move fast and efficiently through my day. It comes to me in those quiet, repetitive moments when my hands are busy and my mind is free to wander. These are moments like doing the dishes, walking my dog, folding the laundry, chopping veggies for dinner, taking a bath, or slowly moving through my yoga flow. It's within these simple, almost boring moments. And when I fill those moments with efficiency or with constant input and entertainment, the mind space for creativity, for authentic ideas and sudden inspiration, it disappears. Years ago, I worked for an advertisement company. They hired me as creative concept designer. I was there for them to think outside the box, come up with new, fresh ideas to get their clients excited. The job sounded so nice on paper, but in reality, I was sitting in an extremely uninspiring, ugly office room with multiple people behind a desk and a laptop. The office was located in a noisy industrial area, so walks outside weren't very pleasant either. It was getting harder and harder for me to come up with fresh ideas that I would be enthusiastic about. And I felt so trapped at my desk, trying to force creativity to come to me. One day I decided to ask my supervisor if I could please go home to take a long walk with my dog, because that's usually when I get the best ideas. Her reaction was, well, let's say I didn't ask for it again. She was pretty shocked that I asked for such thing. She stated that I'm supposed to be in the office at my desk, available for my colleagues and supervisors. But today she would make an exception for me. I am convinced that your space, your environment, as well as solitude and the simple freedom of movement is crucial if you want to live a creative life or fulfill a creative job. Another thing that can hold us back from tapping into our creative spirit is perfectionism and the fear of failure. I recently read a beautiful quote by Georgia O'Keeffe saying, "Whether you succeed or not is irrelevant. There is no such thing. Making your unknown known is the important thing, and keeping the unknown always beyond you." How beautiful and freeing it would be if we could truly internalize this with all our heart and mind. Believe this and live this. Success then might simply follow, as it followed Georgia O'Keeffe. The thing is, we are so stressed out to make money and pay our bills that it is incredibly hard to not focus on success, but to focus on making our unknown known. So what does Georgia actually mean by that? I believe it is about following your curiosity. What lights you up? What do you want to know more about? And letting that guide your creative work and paying attention to the questions of curiosity that come into your mind. For me recently, these were questions like, can I use soy milk as a paint binder? Can I sew watercolor paper and canvas into one piece of art? Can I mount paper paintings onto canvas to give them more body? And those questions only come to me in those quiet, repetitive moments that I talked about, or they come to me during the process of creation when I'm busy with my hands, staring at my paintings in silence, moving things around in my little studio, and when I allow myself to play. It is a different mindset. It leads me on different paths than when I focus on creating a, in my experience, successful painting. And trust me, I know both paths very well. And I find myself focusing on the success that I make up in my mind still too often, and then I get stuck. And the more I see it in front of me, the more I want it. And sometimes this works really well to motivate me and energize me. But when, for some reason, I start feeling more low, this envisioned success actually makes me scared. I'm scared that I might not be able to achieve it. And then I procrastinate. And then I start to feel even worse about myself. And then I end up completely blocked. It's horrible and annoying. But after taking some rest, moving my body and letting myself play for a bit again, I'll get back to it. Back to my curiosity to guide me. Trying to not make things so heavy for myself. Let's just see if I can create this artwork that I'm dreaming of. Let's see if I can get this work into an exhibition or gallery. Let's just see where it takes me. That feels lighter and takes the pressure off the work. Now there's at least one more thing that can cause us to get into a creative block, which is seeking inspiration outside ourselves. For example, by scrolling through Instagram to see what others create. And I still fall into this trap quite often. Because I love seeing others create and to support them. But on those days that I feel low or insecure about my own work, I start watching them with a different mindset that is just not healthy or helpful at all. I'm not even sure why this is so tempting to do, because somewhere I do know that it always makes me feel more overwhelmed, which then leads me to being blocked and procrastinating even more. So, unless you want to try something that is completely new to you, I highly recommend putting away your phone and opening your own drawers, journals, sketchbooks, wherever you find some of your older works or ideas. Take a good look at them. Maybe you'll find a piece of work you once created that you really like, but you forgot about it. And now time has passed and you're looking at it with different eyes. and you can build further upon it. Maybe you notice a single detail in a work or a specific technique that you could give another try. Make the small thing bigger. Use a different color. Try it again on another surface. Often we don't have to look this far from what we've already created. Instead, we need to zoom in and pay attention to detail. When you look at the things you've created in the past, do it alone and do it in silence. And notice when curiosity visits your mind. That's your sign. Try to make your unknown known and build something from there.
Wendy, do you experience a creative block sometimes?
It happens every once in a while.
And what do you do to get over it and get into flow again?
Clear your mind from the idea that you need to take or have control over your process, things, thoughts, time, feelings.
How do you let go of control while painting?
Most of my creative blocks are happening before starting a new painting or start painting in the middle of the process. Mostly when I'm painting, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the start is always
The blank canvas.
very hard, and even I do this now for 6 years. Sometimes starting a new painting makes me doubting, can I still create clouds on this level?
Wow.
Am I still able to play with the eye, play with light, make a nice imposition? And the doubt is what triggers, for me, it triggers the most enormous creative blocks. And
That's exactly what my next question is about, is how do you build your confidence as an artist? Because indeed self-doubt is the thing that often gets in the way.
Do not compare your work or yourself with our artist.
Which is so hard in social media times.
Yeah, there are artists that I admire, and when I have a negative feeling, I'm not good enough, and they are much more further in their journey than I am, I quit. I quit watching. I quit not following. I have special accounts for following other artists that inspire me and sometimes make me doubt myself. So when I watch them, it's completely by choice. It's not just something that happens because the algorithm knows that I like them.
So you have 2 Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So when I choose to watch them, it's completely, I'm aware.
What a good idea.
Yeah.
And what is your secret to not put too much emotional weight on a piece of art so you can feel more ease when sharing it?
This is an impossible question. Even when we are here on the art fair now, there is one piece.
Tell me about it.
You made me cry.
Oh no! I didn't want to do that. What is it about that piece?
It's made with so much love. Yeah.
Which one is it?
Is that all?
What does it remind you of?
Something that makes me very happy and makes me a better person, and yeah, telling about a piece makes me very happy, and even emotional and emotional in a good way. So I'm so proud about that piece. Yeah.
That is so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, it's not possible to create art without the emotional weight.
Then you are a producer and not an artist. Yeah.
Super.